This is CBS on Paramount Plus.
The riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Yellow and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show in which we pick a song or album, listen to it for an entire week straight, come back here and tell you, the listener, if we hate it and why. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, the mansplaining to my manspreading, Timothy Richardson. Mansplaining, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's been a little bittersweet this week, though, if I'm being honest.
What could that possibly mean?
Well,
explain.
Garrett, last week, the spooky season officially ended. We're off to Sexy Spring, another Why I Hate This Album trademark. And there's, of course, some mixed feelings with that, but I think it's going to be good. I think we can use a break from the consistently terrifying last 6 months. We should use Sexy Spring and also Spicy Summer to recharge and get ready for the next Spooktember. God, I can't wait for Spooktember.
What's happening after Sexy Spring?
That's Spicy Summer.
Spicy Summer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We'll find out when we get there.
A lot of Indian food.
Oh.
And spicy music.
I thought, okay. I wish I hadn't asked.
Tito
or you hadn't
Fuentes
told
and
me.
such, you know.
It's all like calypso and like music that's primarily in a language we don't speak.
Yeah, while we eat Indian food.
It's so spicy. Okay, Tim. Anyway, God, you've really derailed me here. What song have you been listening to for an entire week straight so that you can come back here and talk about it with me?
I have been listening to Eddie Murphy's sexy spring single, Party All the Time, from the year of our Lord 1985, aka the year of our Tim, 0.
Right. And after an entire week with Edward Murphy's Party All the Time, assisted by none other than Mr. Richard James, Tim, the entire East Coast is waiting to hear your answer to this question. Do you hate this song?
No, Garrett, I don't. I will get into more of this later. In my head, this was absolutely dreadful. In my memory, essentially, his Buckwheat character was singing this song.
Oh,
and that's
no.
not what this is. So it's not great, but I was very pleasantly surprised by how, this is a solid or at least serviceable 80s synthy funky song. It's definitely not what I remember. And again, I was pleasantly surprised.
God, yeah. What you were picturing sounds horrific.
And a little racist, if I'm being honest. My memory, a little bit racist. What about you, Garrett? Do you hate this song?
Oh my, no. I like it. I enjoy it. I probably hear it about once every 2 months. It's weird. It's made all the weirder by the fact that it's Eddie Murphy at the time that he made it. We'll get into all that in a little bit. But yeah, I like it. I like Rick James. I like that these two are hanging out. I can kind of hear the insane cocaine and women and binging on God knows what that must have taken place while they were trapped inside of a recording studio in a blizzard very similar to the one that traps us inside today. Yeah, I'm into the whole thing, Tim.
Yeah, and I'm pleased to tell you that Rick James had not started literally torturing people yet. We'll get there too.
Yeah,
it was a more innocent time when he was just on a lot of cocaine.
And just doing things that no one in their right mind would ever deem acceptable by modern standards.
Right. Kidnapping people and torturing them.
Yes, that happened. See my now incredibly epic and legendary solo cast on the life and times of Rick James.
Oh, you're doing a solo cast on Rick James. Excellent.
Can't
wait to hear it.
That's clearly a lie. Obviously, you haven't listened to the one I did 3 years ago. It is, and these are not my words, some of the finest podcasting of the year. Not my words.
I can't imagine they'd be anyone's words.
that I'm telling you, it was said, not by me. Not by me. I said it now, repeating that other person whose name I don't recall.
All right.
Anyway, Tim, you don't hate it. I don't hate it. Before we can talk about the song itself, I'm very curious. What's your history with this song? It's either going to be identical to mine or the complete opposite.
Well, again, Garrett, I thought this was Buckwheat singing this song. I have not that much history with this. I've heard the chorus many times. I was unaware that there were other parts to this song. And again, I feel like I've heard it mocked more than I've actually heard it. I am, of course, quite familiar with Eddie as a comedian and an actor. I love the Nutty Professor films, Coming to America, Beverly Hills Cop, Norbit. 48 Hours, Pluto Nash, Trading Places, Shrek. It is all great stuff. And of course, I like his comedic observations. I was quite surprised to find out that he had a musical career beyond this one song, though.
Well,
he did. We'll get into it. What about you? I assume you had some sort of intense psychosexual cat and mouse-esque relationship as a boy that somehow involved this song. What's your history with this?
Honestly, I don't think I heard it till college.
That's shocking to me.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever heard it till college, and Tim and I were in a fraternity, as weird as that is to think about. And part of that whole thing is they made a CD that was supposed to be full of irritating songs. It had, well, this and the Barbie song and Strokin'. Have we done Strokin', Tim? We haven't done Strokin'.
I don't think so. We have not stroked yet.
Okay, we'll probably have bleeped that. Anyway, several other dumb songs like that. And quite frankly, as this show has shown, I like dumb songs. So I was just like, hey, this is pretty great. Who is this? And they're like, it's Eddie Murphy. I was like, what? And that sent me on a little journey to understand how in the world this came to be. And now here we are 20 years later talking about it. Aside from that, though, I put it on burned CDs. It's on playlists in my Apple Music. I like this song. It makes me laugh. That's my history. What about you, Timbo? Oh, no, you already gave me your history. I just wasn't listening. So that's my history. That's your history. Before we can really talk about the song and how little is actually in it, we need to understand how it got made. Tim, take me on a journey. Help, I assume, the listener understand. Well, this is going to be weird. Who is Eddie Murphy? And how did Party All the Time come to be?
Edward Reagan Murphy, weirdly partially named in honor of the SAG president at the time of his conception, was born in 1961 in Brooklyn, New York, the son of a telephone operator mother and a transit police officer father, who was also an amateur actor and comedian. He had an older brother, Charlie, whom you probably know best from Dave Chappelle's Rick James sketches. We will not be discussing those any further. Edward's parents got divorced when he was 3. His father was then stabbed to death 5 years later by a lady, as he described it. He was a victim of the Murphy charm. I never got all the logistics. It was supposed to be one of those crimes of passion. If I can't have you, no one else will kind of deal. His mom then got sick for a while, and Eddie and Charlie lived in foster care before she, I guess, got better. She married a guy named Vernon Lynch. That's the second week in a row with a father or stepfather named Vernon. But this was a very good Vernon, Garrett. He was the foreman at an ice cream plant, and if you want to win over some stepchildren, that's the goddamn job to have.
That's amazing. I had an Uncle Vernon.
I assume he was a bad Vernon.
No, he was a very, very sweet Vernon. He, of course, passed away from cancer. But you made me think of a weird story with your ice cream factory and puppy dog store. I was probably 11 years old, and I was hanging out with good old Uncle Vernon in downtown Boston. And the whole day we're seeing increasingly, shall we say, eccentric outfits and characters. And I'm like, hey, Uncle Vernon, what's going on with this? And he's like, I really don't know. And then, she's getting more and more outlandish. And I'm like, Uncle Vernon, something's definitely going on today. And he's like, I think it might be the ice cream festival. That's fun. And maybe we can find it and we'll go get some ice cream. Tim, do you want to guess for $100? Was it an ice cream festival?
Gay Pride Parade?
It was an aggressively celebratory gay pride parade. We did not find an ice cream festival, but I did find a lot of nude men. Oh, man.
I mean, I'm going to probably clip that. That's a good in-conversation there. I did not find an ice cream festival, but I did find a lot of nude men. Garrett Harvey, in conversation, February 24th, 2026.
As better as Garrett Harvey, age 11.
As a kid, Eddie was super into Richard Pryor and also Peter Sellers, which is where he got the idea to be a stand-up and also to play multiple characters in a film, which would eventually lead to one of the world's great sequels, 2000 science fiction comedy film, as the internet describes it, Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps, in which Edward R. Murphy plays 7 separate clumps.
It's so much work and so difficult only to be made fun of.
Yes, but to quote Chris Rock, robbed of an Oscar for the first one.
I agree.
He performed at a talent show at 15 doing an Al Green impersonation, which led to him performing at local clubs, then late night clubs further away, leading to him skipping a bunch of school, having to go to summer school, getting in a bunch of trouble, etc. But he was cast on SNL and debuted In December 1980, he would stay there for 4 years and was widely credited for helping to make the show not terrible for a while. Garrett notably loved his Buckwheat and actually does a pretty good version of it himself. I got to listen to that a bunch this week. Sadly, Buckwheat was assassinated in front of 30 Rock on March 12th, 1983. Eddie was also the only person to ever host while being a regular cast member due to Nick Nolte being, quote-unquote, ill with cocaine.
I'm not going to that goddamn show.
Unrelated to this, Nicholas King Nolte was arrested for DUI in Malibu on September 11th, 2002, and testing showed he was on a shit ton of GHB, which he then claimed he had been habitually using for years as a mood elevator and fitness supplement, statements that would be later mirrored by RFK Jr.
Good Lord. Yeah, I like to stay in a good mood by constantly taking GHB. Can't you tell?
I can.
No.
I actually can.
Remember when I was in that Hulk movie? Yeah? I was wild. I was part of the floor, and then I was the sky. Uh-huh. I'm Nick Nolte.
You're on GHB right now, aren't you?
A whole bunch, yes.
Yeah. Edward R. Murphy released a comedy album in 1982 that was disliked by the gay community, although it did have some hints of his aspirations to be a singer, including the now classic Boogie in Your Butt.
I'm a sucker for the classics.
In 1983, he released Delirious, which is really good, although you do have to remember that it was released in 1983 as you watch it today. And I say that not having watched it since 2015 or so please do not contact me about this any further. He won a Grammy for that as well, and he fucking looked great doing it. The man could wear a bright red leather suit with nothing underneath it like nobody's business. Between that and Raw, Bill Cosby really bitched at him and criticized him for saying naughty words in public. But Bill Cosby was GHBing and raping women at an incredible pace at the time. So we were,
best to ignore his advice.
Yeah, absolutely. As a podcast, we are not on Bill Cosby's side. That's where our entire organization stands. And yes, listener, it is a brave take.
Even Gino.
Yeah. In today's America, though, that's taking a stand.
It is.
He was then in Beverly Hills Cop in 1984, which is also pretty good, and did really well and helped to make him a huge star. I've always felt that Judge Reinhold was particularly electric in that film. He turned down Ghostbusters, and then, what are you going to do after all of that? Music. This was mostly due to a bet he had with Richard Pryor. Richie P, as he was known at the time, whomst bet Eddie $100,000 that he could not sing and would not release an actual music album without it being filled with jokes. The liner notes for How Could It Be, the album featuring the Song of the Week, says, "To Richie P, again as he was known at the time, my idol, with whomst I have a $100,000 bet. No, motherfucker, I didn't forget." So, to be clear, this album and this song, kind of a goof.
Kinda, but also a goof in that it is very deadly serious.
Yes, because what a star-studded goof this was. The album was produced by Rick James and Stevie Wonder. They wrote and performed a good portion of that. Rick James wrote the Song of the Week. He got Annie Leibovitz to do the photography. He probably needed that $100,000 that he definitely never got from Richard Pryor to even break even for this. But again, he did not get that. The Song of the Week in particular was recorded at Rick James's home studio in Buffalo, New York. 33 inches of snow shut down the entire city, trapping Edward R. Murphy in James Ambrose Johnson Jr.'s house for 3 days or 2 weeks, depending on who you ask, where they presumably did every bit of Buffalo's cocaine and made this song. This song kind of came about as sort of a Homer and Mr. Burns' cabin situation. Like, I'm certain that gacked out of their mind, they eventually put their clothes on snowmen and stood around shivering, just suspicious at one another, but, still making this song.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I picture, them going to go out and grab some beers or something, only to realize they're snowed in, and he's, fuck, this is going to be so boring. And then Rick James is like, "Oh, bitch, this is what I've been waiting for." And pulls a completely sealed chest out from underneath his bed and just opens it the only way he can, an axe. And inside is just a collection of every known illicit substance you could possibly want on a 3-week bender with Rick James. He's like, "I knew it would happen one day. Let's get into it." I want an 8-episode Fargo-esque season of television dedicated to those 3 weeks.
Yes. And Rick Moranis is secretly the mafia-style bad guy who seems very nice at first.
Wait, what?
I'm introducing Rick Moranis into the situation.
Why would he be at Rick James's house?
Oh, he's not. They end up crossing him on a drug-fueled bender, and then, that sets into motion the Fargo-esque events.
Fargo, the TV show.
Yes, or the movie.
I don't think you fully understand my concept. They don't leave the house. They're snowed in.
Right, but eventually they're going to get into some trouble.
I'm picturing much more of an Overlook hotel situation in where they become more and more delusional about who's in there. More similar to your Mr. Burns, Homer Simpson situation where they're like, oh, they look cold.
I just want a season of Fargo where Rick Moranis is the bad guy.
I mean, he was made for it. He's very old, but it would be awesome to see him as like a kingpin of a Midwest mafia.
Mm-hmm.
The corn mafia, as they say.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that. In 1986, Eddie got back to making films. He made The Golden Child, which I personally love. It's probably not that good. He turned down a role in Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home. That's the one that's inexplicably about whales. His role would eventually go to Catherine Hicks. So picture this, Garrett. If Eddie had not dropped out of that, we could have seen, instead of the tender kiss between Kathy and Shaddy, we could have been getting a tender kiss between Eddie and Bill. It would have been so vulnerable.
God, I mean, I'd pay to see it, but given some of the language in that Delirious and Raw specials, I don't know how they would have gotten Eddie to do it.
That's true. He turned down the lead role in Who Framed Roger Rabbit because he thought it sounded ridiculous. He did Beverly Hills Cop 2, a bunch of other movies. He did Eddie Murphy Raw in 1987, and had essentially become Hollywood's biggest star. Allegedly, the quote-unquote franchise that consisted of his contract with Paramount Pictures rivaled the Star Trek franchise that they had with Paramount Pictures in terms of actual revenue generated. He released 2 more albums, So Happy, featuring the songs Put Your Mouth on Me, Pretty Please, Till the Money's Gone, and Love Moans in 1989. Now, they are not in that order, but I feel like that's the order they should be in. And the album Love's All Right, featuring Michael Jackson, and for some reason, covers of Good Day Sunshine and Hey Joe in 93.
Oh my God.
And I do have this on good authority. He does do the Buckwheat voice for Good Day Sunshine.
No, he does not.
You don't know. Nobody
still,
knows.
Nobody knows. No one's heard it. Michael Jackson heard it, and then he died. Propofol.
He was not on that song, so he has not heard it.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I had no idea he had multiple albums, and somehow we did the Sane song.
Yeah, we did the presumably best song.
Oh,
well, I don't know. Put
Michael
Your
Jackson,
Mouth on Me might be pretty good.
I was going to say, is Michael Jackson on Put Your Mouth on Me?
He is not, no.
Okay, good.
Eddie continued the sort of adult-oriented comedies through the early 90s before pivoting to more family-friendly movies like Shrek, Dr. Dolittle, Daddy Daycare, The Nutty Professor, The Haunted Mansion, etc., and also Bowfinger, which is pretty good, but not as good as I remember it.
I literally just watched Bowfinger about a month and a half ago. It is good. It is not great.
Yeah, I remember the scene where he runs across the freeway. Yeah. I remember that being like 3 times as long and much more Eddie Murphy-ish. It's actually quite short, but that really sticks out in my memory.
I mean, it's very funny. He is crying and screaming. That's good stuff.
He was then pulled over in 1997 with transgender prostitute Atasan Sueli in his car in West Hollywood, but he was not charged with any crime since he was just giving her a ride, Larry David style, at 4:45 in the morning. Although Atasan got to spend 90 days in an LA County jail as a result. Does not seem fair. She would die less than a year later after falling 5 floors from the roof of her apartment building. Police suspected that she got locked out of her apartment with a towel and then went up to the roof and tried to use the towel as a rope to swing down from the roof into an open apartment window, Batman style, which sounds like bullshit. Somebody clearly
sounds
killed
like someone
her, right?
murdered her.
Right. Of course they did. Not saying it was Eddie Murphy, but somebody did.
You're implying it heavily, though.
No. I'm not. Somebody murdered her, though.
Somebody
without
with
question.
The initials EM.
But there's a lot of people that have that. And also, not to child shame Garrett, this man has 10 kids, which is too many kids.
Yeah.
He has 5 with his now ex-wife, Nicole Mitchell, a couple with some girlfriends in the 80s, 1 with Spice Girl and international super spy Melanie Brown, whomst he tried to deny, saying, I don't know whose child that is until it comes out and has a blood test. You should not jump to conclusions, sir. The old Garrett Harvey special. He also had a weird marriage ceremony to Tracy Edmonds in 2008. Then 15 days later, released a statement with her saying that the ceremony was only symbolic. They were going to remain friends instead of pursuing a further romantic relationship, which is weird because he just married her.
Yeah, how fucking crazy are you, Eddie Murphy?
Well, he almost got an Oscar for Dreamgirls in 2006, but then released Norbit on the heels of that, which destroyed not only his Oscar chances, but also the next decade of his career. That being said, pretty good. It seemed like he was done essentially after that. He converted to Catholicism. He was doing still some small roles in not well-received films, as well as like Shrek sequels. But he was honored by SNL in 2015 and got the Mark Twain Prize at the Trump Kennedy Center.
I hate you.
Then released Dolomite Is My Name in 2019, I think, and everyone just fucking loved him again. He won an Emmy for hosting SNL, in which he said, "If you would have told me 30 years ago that I would be this boring stay-at-home house dad and Bill Cosby would be in jail, even I would have taken that bet." Cosby didn't care for that and responded from prison through a spokesman by calling Eddie a Hollywood slave and by saying his routine was, and keep in mind, these are not my words, these are the words of a rapist, a form of cooning.
Wow.
Yeah. Eddie went on to do more Beverly Hills Cops, Coming to America, the number in there. There's another Beverly Hills Cop in development. He will play George Clinton in a funky future biopic, and Shrek 5 will be released in 2027. Also, good news, Garrett, his eldest son, Eric, married Martin Lawrence's daughter, which I think is delightful.
That's adorable.
Yeah, it is. And that's the end of this history, Garrett. Peace and chaos be upon you, a very Bahaman, party all the time.
Could you just pick one and say it like you mean? Oh, why are the old ones so much worse?
Yeah, it's the ones that they were trying to be nice, but it just revealed how much worse they were.
Real blue-eyed soul situation.
Gross.
Great history, Tim. Very entertaining. Impressed with your ability to not weigh in heavily on the enshittification of his own career. Like, Eddie Murphy, to me, makes no sense. I don't know if anybody was listening to the history with a calendar, but let's just review a couple of things. He's in Coming to America, Trading Places, and 48 Hours, all before he's 23.
Mm-hmm. And then, and he'd also revitalized SNL by that point.
Yeah, one of the most important mainstays of American comedy, he fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck, dude? Do you get more talented?
And
also,
he had the biggest two specials maybe ever. I mean, the Raw was in, it had a huge theater run.
Yeah, it was in theaters. I think they both were, but I think Raw destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they don't do that. Go see stand-up in a theater with people. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
But anyway, those albums, they were huge. And so what's funny is that he then proceeds to make increasingly shittier movies. And up to a point he meant to, right? So like he fucks himself. He does Harlem Nights. He does...
Harlem Nights is great. It's not a good movie, but it's great.
No. Yeah, it's got Red Fox. It's got Richard Pryor. It's awesome. But yeah, it's a terrible movie. And then I don't think Boomerang did that well.
Didn't he do like the Blackula? I don't know what it's called.
Yo, yeah, he did. What is it called? Vampire in Brooklyn. It's the contacts for me. Well, and the Jerry Curl that really stand out. Yeah, that's not a good movie. God, that's not a good movie. I forgot how bad that is. I'm so glad you brought that up. But yeah, so up to a point, these were his ideas, and then they shit the bed. He does Metro, which is supposed to be more of an action-y Beverly Hills Cop, and then that doesn't do great either. And that's sort of the last time we see Eddie Murphy as we know and love him for 20 years. Because then he does all the children's stuff, which is for his kids, and I get that. But then when he tries to dip out of that shit, it's Norbit and Pluto Nash. Tim, have you seen Pluto Nash?
I've seen all of his movies, yes.
That's crazy. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. And I'm looking at you, Jay Moore. You don't help.
He didn't help much. Aside from a solid Christopher Walken impression in
it's good.
Suicide Kings, fuck that guy.
I forgot about Suicide Kings. He's really good in that.
Yeah, now, we're saying that now. I have not seen that in a long time either. It might not be good.
Yeah, I feel like that one might be our Boondock Saints.
Yeah, quite possibly. Especially given Dennis Leary's prominent role in that. It's probably
yeah, that's
terrible. You
never
know what?
good.
That's a bad movie.
I don't even need to rewatch it. Folks, don't watch it. Oh, sad news on the movie front, Tim. I just read that the director for Face Off 2 has left the project.
There's an opening.
Dude, you and I could bring so much innovation and excitement to that role.
I think what
Or
we
that
need
film.
to do, we need to release I think it's episode 680 on the Patreon only feed where we do Face Off. I feel like if we release that in the next couple of weeks, there's a good chance we might get that job. Or at least a consultant job on it. They'll see how well we understand the movie.
Yeah, we understand it at a molecular level. And folks, if you're not on the Patreon feed where we're reviewing these movies, you're missing out. Find the feed. We're not going to give you the link. What do you think this is?
680,
Anyway.
that was also like 4 years ago.
Oof, yeah.
We don't miss
Find the
weeks on that.
No, people are paying for it. You can't. Anyway, God, is it really 4 years ago was 680?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I think we should definitely start releasing some of the Patreon episodes on here. Might give us a break too. And yeah, I mean, we deconstruct Face Off at a level that I've never heard another podcast or really just human being. God, the fucking, I was listening to Nicolas Cage talk about it and he was like, it's going to be epic. I switch faces with Travolta. Travolta's son switches faces with my son. We're all switching faces.
I think he should switch faces with a young boy so that there's a tiny boy running around with Nicolas Cage's face, and then there's a man with a boy's face.
Do it. Oh, and they better bring back the face waterfall.
Oh, of course they will. That's yeah. The irritating thing for that was that it was named so perfectly by
Paul Scheer.
Yeah. It's a shame that that's made it into my canon because I would like to name it something, but I can't because it's better.
No, it's better. You'll never beat Face Waterfall. And folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, get ready. We're releasing the Face Off episode. You're going to know more about that movie than you ever cared to, or at least our opinions of it. Anyway, Tim,
which
this
is actually like negative information about it, to be honest, but that's okay.
I wouldn't go as far as to call it like disinformation, but it could
misinformation. Dangerous vaccine misinformation.
No, come on, man. We're only in the first 15 minutes. You can't go spouting off about the V word.
We're
Get
definitely
fucking
past
demonetized.
15 minutes.
I can't tell time. All right, Tim. We are procrastinating. Back to Edward Murphy. Is his middle name really Reagan?
Yes.
That's weird.
Nick Nolte's real middle name is King.
Nicholas King Nolte.
Mm-hmm.
That brings us to the song itself. Before we talk about it, let's get a little taste. Let's give everyone's ears a jingle jangle of Eddie Murphy's stupendous, catchy Party All the Time.
And now, let's hear some of the Apologetics parody version. Sorry All the Time, or possibly Study All the Time. I could not figure it out. The Apologetics Christian parody version. Take it away, Gino.
Horrible.
Good. Well,
Horrible.
yeah, it's not very good.
Well, luckily, we're not talking about that song and probably shouldn't have even brought it up, but we did. Anyway, let's talk about the song in hand, Edward Murphy's Party All the Time. Tim, not bad. Super synthy. Actually, before we get into the song itself, can we talk about the cover or covers? I don't know if you caught them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in one, the cover for the single, and that's important because at this time we actually had to buy singles, you see Eddie Murphy, once again, in all leather, because that's just all he owns is leather onesies, and he's like in some sort of threatening to fight position that does not match the frivolity of Party All the Time.
Yeah. Well, he's really angry at his lady, Garrett. I don't know if the sinister undertones come across from this, but
interesting.
We'll get there.
The other, more interesting cover, Tim, is the cover to the album on which the single appears. I'd never seen this. I don't know. Well, I do know. Franny Leibowitz told him to do it. And it looks like shite. Her too. I went to college with Franny, her sister. I get them confused. We see each other at Thanksgiving. Anyway, Edward is in a pinstripe suit, which you can't get too upset about given the year. But he's in this huge pinstripe suit, bending over a white piano in a position that I can only describe as a stress position with soulful eyes at the camera.
Yeah, it is a stress position, and that is how you would describe it, having,
Stressed that position to people.
stressed people with such a position.
That's not what I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a weird cover.
Yeah, I feel like they took the photos without having any idea what the content of the actual album or the song.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. They were all done they were all booked separately and may not have happened in the order you traditionally would expect.
Yes. As for the music itself, Garrett, I would shit a cold snake if you said you didn't love the music for this. This is,
Of course.
quintessential 1985. The opening music, like the synth and the beat, it sounds tailor-made. Like every time I heard this is an 80s film establishing shot, right?
Yes.
Anytime you hear this, you see that fucking helicopter flying over the streets and then cutting to the hustle and bustle of the Big Apple, people going to work on Wall Street. This could have been in something like Coming to America, Ghostbusters, Crocodile Dundee when they get to New York, or even like a Fletch.
Oh, yeah, Fletch, that feels really good. Although it's kind of got to be about the party scene, right? Because it's pretty overtly about a girl who likes to party all the time.
I'm just talking about the music, Garrett. That synthy stuff. That is watching
sure.
Fletch in his weird outfits walk down the beach and pretend to be homeless men. Yeah.
Right. No, love it. Love it to death. Also, just to circle back, did you say shit a cold snake?
If you said you didn't love it.
Sure. No, that part made sense. Is it dead?
Why
is it cold?
Are the hot snakes alive? I'm sorry. I might have been wildly misinterpreting what I was saying earlier. Jesus Christ. So they're okay. So in your minds, they're like angry when they
yeah, man.
Gross.
Do you think they're all dead? You're just shitting dead hot snakes?
I thought it was a metaphor.
It is a metaphor. Well, it's a figure of speech. They're different.
It's at least a very well-known idiom. Garrett, this does feel like a novelty song though, right?
Yeah, this borders on novelty, but that's not what they meant it to be.
No, they didn't. I mean, again, it did start off kind of as a goof, but you're right, it did get deadly serious. He hired Rick James and was like, I'm getting on the fucking radio, and God damn it, Richie P, you're giving me that $100,000. And then he didn't.
Yeah. Okay, excellent description, Tim. Yeah, super dancey, super synthy. He's got the weird covers. I think we need to get into the song now. What do you say?
Absolutely.
All right. He begins. Girl, I can't understand it. Why you want to hurt me? After all the things I've done for you, I buy you champagne and roses, put diamonds on your finger, and still you hang out all night. What am I to do? Pretty cut and dry, right? He's super into a wild lady.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that. I think it's that he's at the height of his powers, right? Everyone should want him. And he's irritated that this one doesn't. It's not that he's super into her. It's just that he's a little offended that somebody wouldn't be super into him. And I get that.
Sure, absolutely. I love it. And that was my big fundamental initial question is this somebody who's dating him or is this all pursuit? I took it as well as pursuit.
I think so. I think it's just he assumes that he's dating anyone who's around him.
Or maybe they went on a date. Going on a date does not make anyone your girlfriend.
No, we all had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, this is my girlfriend Shanice. We went on a date. We are friends, and I am a girl, but we're not dating.
Yeah. He definitely seems to be trying to buy her love, though, which is a solid tactic if you have the money.
Sure, absolutely. It means you don't have to have nearly as much charm, conversational ability, looks.
Pecs,
just, pecs. Tim, you got pecs for days.
I know. The women love them. That's not my point.
You're also poor as shit, so I guess you gotta have them pecs. If you don't have a fat wallet, as you always say, Tim, you gotta pop them pecs.
I thought you were gonna say if you don't have a fat wallet, you gotta have them fat tits. I'm glad you didn't, though.
Well, no, that is what you say. Because you said it.
My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time. She parties all the time. Now, I won't do it, and I think Garrett's probably too bashful to do it. But again, I did, in my memory, remember that exclusively as the Buckwheat character singing that. As far as I knew, it was just the chorus. It was like he was just fucking around. Like I thought it might have been like an SNL sketch or something. I don't really know what I thought this was, but that's all I thought this song was.
Well, there is like Buckwheat sings the classics. That was an SNL sketch.
Maybe I combined those two things in my head.
That is exactly what has happened. And I almost started singing one of the songs, you son of a bitch, way to try to get me canceled from society, no matter how accurate the impression was going to be. God damn you. I almost did it. Yeah, that definitely was the sketch. I think that's what's happened here. You've merged Eddie Murphy's pop career with Eddie Murphy's one-time sketch of Buckwheat doing the hits.
Well, Garrett, this chorus is a little bit troubling because, listen, Eddie and Rick in 1985, their noses were essentially nothing more than one giant infected centralized coke hole, right? By the end of the 80s, Rick James was spending $7,000 a week on cocaine only, and he said that he did that for a period of at least 5 straight years. So my point is, she's definitely not actually partying all the time, or partying too much for them to, like, keep up with. She's partying too much with
the wrong people.
Not even that. She's partying more than they would like, right? So they got a girl that's fun. She's going to go out and she's going to do a bunch of cocaine too. Whereas what they wanted to go out and party and, dissolve that septum with a bunch of cocaine while the girl stays at home. You see, because they want to go out and party with women and they want the girl to stay at home so that,
I don't know.
Well, it's a captive. And not a literal captive, but they want the girl who's there's definitely a different set of rules for her than exist for them vis-a-vis the partying all the time.
I see. That's fair. Like, it's a bit uncouth that this girl wants to party like we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and after criticizing our partying too.
Yeah, and she's out there wearing short pants, doing her little behind shake for the menfolk. So I took it to be that all of this is, he doesn't mind that she wants to party all the time. It's that she don't want to party with him.
Yeah,
I think it's back to that initial verse.
He would be fine if they were like, so he goes out,
partying
he does a
together.
bunch of cocaine, he parties with all the ladies, then he returns home where she is waiting patiently for him and they party there, but she just parties with him, whereas he gets to party with other people.
Oh, see, I didn't get that. I'm not saying it's irrational. I just didn't get that. I got more that he's obsessed with her and she won't give him the time of day. Because that first verse really is about how he's trying to buy her love. And she's like, yeah, that's cool, but not into it. See you later, Edward. And so really what they're saying is, oh, she just parties all the time. That's all she does. And probably she doesn't party all the time. He's just jealous that it's not with him.
Yeah.
Verse 2. Girl, I've seen you in clubs just hanging out and dancing. You give your number to every man you see. You never come home at night because you're out romancing. I wish you'd bring some of your love home to me. She's banging other dudes, Tim. And is he spying on her?
Yeah, he's doing an all-day peep.
All-day peep. I hate that that's like the 4th episode that's come up in.
I think it's just the 2nd.
Disagree. He is following this woman, and I want to return to the question at hand. Are they dating? Because if they're dating, listen, if I was dating a woman and I thought she was actively cheating on me, I'd probably follow her. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or even if you just didn't know what she was doing for a little bit of her time, you'd probably follow her.
See, now that's dangerous waters, friend. That's dangerous waters. You got to steer clear of that is what I'm saying.
Who needs to get gas for that long is what I'm saying.
It's none of your business. It's just none of your business. Let her get the gas. Maybe she got a Butterfinger or ran into a friend on the way out.
A man friend, though?
Ooh, now see, that's why you got to be at that gas station.
Absolutely.
Or maybe across the street.
Yeah.
It's not about the peeping. You just want to make sure she's safe.
Yeah.
Who is that?
It's okay, but this does, first of all, it feels like projection, right? Because Edward and Rick were almost certainly making love to many, many women at the time.
Yeah, at the same time.
Right. And as you always say, that's for the men to do. It's nobody's business, but certainly not for a broad.
He never said that, to be super clear. I'll let you fucking say some pretty ridiculous shit. You're not saying that.
Interesting. Well, I've cut the part where you denied it, and I've double-tracked the part where I said it. In 1991, Garrett, Rick James and his girlfriend Tanya Hijals were arrested on charges for holding 24-year-old Frances Alley hostage for 6 days, tying her up, forcing her to perform sexual acts, and burning her legs and abdomen with the hot end of a crack cocaine pipe during a week-long cocaine binge. I'm not sure why that's in the notes here. Gino seems to have found it relevant. Also, while out on bail for that incident, he and his girlfriend set up a business meeting with Mary Salger, at which point they kidnapped her as well, held her hostage for 20 hours while allegedly intermittently beating her. I guess Garrett's point is that the writer of this song, Rickald Ambrose James, maybe he's
unstable.
Yeah, and like when he gets to threatening and saying you're staying out too late and you're not coming home and I wish you'd bring that love home to me, either do it or call the cops, because what happens next is not great.
Yeah, either get home or never go home again.
Mm-hmm. Ideally the second.
And that brings us to the outro, Tim, which is performed exclusively by Mr. James. He says, she likes to party all the time, yeah. She lets her hair down. She likes to party down. She likes to party. She likes to party down. Party all the time. Oh, now get down and party, yeah. Party all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a tale of a guy who is obsessed with a woman who has rebuffed him, and his good friend who is on too much cocaine for even like an elephant, and he's game for stalking this lady and figuring out who she is spending time.
Mm-hmm. And if she's kidnapping material.
Yeah, now, maybe Eddie goes home at the end of the blizzard and Rick says, well, speaking of no one's looking, ties her to a bed and burns her a whole bunch with a crack pipe. Could happen. Didn't, but could have.
I mean, it did to somebody, allegedly.
Well, sure, it absolutely allegedly did. Also, I want to throw a big exclusive allegedly around Mr. Edward Murphy. We don't know if he did any cocaine whatsoever, but I will say, hanging out with somebody who is doing that much cocaine seems impossible without some cocaine.
And also there would be so much errant cocaine just in the air. You're doing some cocaine. Like, it would be just like dusty. It would be a shamal in there, Garrett.
A shamal. He opens the front door and just a light white mist drifts out. Hey, are you mystical? Oh, no, bitch, that's cocaine. Ah, Jesus Christ. It's going to be one of those days. You're trapped here. There's a blizzard coming.
Got the burning pipe out.
Oh, Jesus. Alrighty, that brings us to the music video, Tim, and it is ridiculous.
Yeah, now, before we get into that, I will say we're probably not going to discuss this, mostly because I'm sure you did not do the research. I did also watch the video of Gwyneth Paltrow cover this from Glee, and it is, and this is true, terrible.
I'm embarrassed for her having never seen it.
Yeah, you should be. It's really, really bad.
You know who I'm not a huge fan of? I'm just going to go on record and say it. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. What a horrible woman.
Conversely, huge crush on Margot Tenenbaum.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, explain that to me.
I think it's the acting.
Acting! That brings us to the music video, Tim. So feel free to stop me at any moment. I'm just going to get us going. We begin in the studio, and we wander into the engineering booth to find a bunch of random dudes with Rick James, who, might I say, has bleached his hair, and it looks amazing.
He looks so good.
It looks so crazy. He clearly did that himself.
This is how good he looks. I would voluntarily go into his house not knowing what he had planned for me.
Oh, God, you're going to get burned with a pipe.
Yeah.
Anyway, next, Eddie comes in, says hi to everybody, and then it's time to head to the booth. So the first thing that occurred to me after just taking in the physicality of Rick James, who is both threatening and hilarious at the same time, you forget Eddie Murphy's 24. Mm-hmm. He looks like a child.
Yeah,
it's
and weirdly, though, I mean, if this had been filmed 10 years later, he would have also looked just like.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you forget that he started so young when you look at him now and you're like, yeah, I mean, you've aged, but you're not aged. And you're like, oh, he's only 62. But anyway, back to the music video, because it is something special. We're pretending to record the song in which we're listening to. And so everything is done live together. So it's not just Eddie in the booth singing. It's Eddie in the booth with a bunch of musicians. All of them look ridiculous.
Oh yeah, there's a white dude that he kind of looks like Rod Stewart. He's wearing.
Yep.
I mean, he's
like a leather shirt open.
Yeah, he's taken fashion choices from Eddie Murphy. And that's the weird thing, Garrett. I didn't count the number of guitars that are seen in this video. There's no guitars in this song, are there?
There's none. It's a keyboard and one of those terrible drum pads that people tried to convince us we didn't need drums. Anyway, song continues and we cut to 4 random people that are singing and dancing to the chorus, which I don't understand if they're supposed to be the backup singers or are they just digging the song.
Oh, I think they were just hangers on, right? These are girls. These are party girls, right? They're partying in the right place, though. right? They have
Interesting.
not incurred the ire of Rick James yet.
Yeah, that's what's really funny is, so to your point, they're all like hanging out in the booth and they're having a good time and they're chatting it up. Listeners, just not for nothing, if you find yourself in a recording session of a musical artist, shut the fuck up. That's really all you need to do is shut the fuck up.
They will yell at you like Christian Bale if you don't.
Although we're fucking professionals, fuck you. I love him. Favorite Batman.
Yeah. Favorite time I got yelled at by an actor on set.
Your lights were all wrong. You can't just walk through the scene, cunt. Anyway, you deserved it.
Yeah.
You 100% deserved it. Where's the trigger? Then we get some live claps from Eddie while he's singing, which again, if you're in a recording booth and you're singing live, don't do that. But whatever. All the clothing in the music video, as we mentioned, is stellar and strange. We have full leather purple suits, a dude with an open leather shirt in the background, and he's wearing white pants. Then we get a tight shot of Rick James's dick. And then they cut to a woman smiling and licking her lips and excited as Eddie sings the words, "Bring love home to me." It's overt and just a strange thing to put in a music video. And then we'll cut over to my dick. What? Yeah, when you say the thing about bringing love home, then you cut over to my dick. Oh, okay. Listen, motherfucker, cut over to my dick or I'll skin you alive. Okay, Mr. James. Take a little bit of this juice. That's not juice, sir. That's cocaine. Like, I picture him, like, scooping it up like a hand of talcum powder and just, like, pixie flicking it at somebody. Just give me fine. Take a little of this. Come on, sir. I told you. I don't do cocaine.
I'm allergic to cocaine.
You're not going to do breathing if you don't listen. Did cocaine till the day he died.
Yeah.
With, intermittent breaks, but definitely.
Yeah, no, I mean, he did. He claimed that when he went to prison for those kidnappings and tortures, although he did, the torture charges were technically dropped. So technically, as far as the law is concerned, he didn't torture anyone, but he did do all the rest of that stuff. Anyway, he claimed that he quit cocaine the day he went to prison, although a toxicology report after his death
says otherwise.
Did find some cocaine.
I think he did quit cocaine the day he entered prison. And then he resumed cocaine the day he left prison.
Yeah.
Tale as old as time.
I'm sure he found some cocaine in that prison.
I want to get a Big Mac and some cocaine. Music video continues. After the tight shot of Rick James's dick, we cut to a couple of guys in white shirts, and everyone is on cocaine in this music video. That's clear, allegedly. But it's
I don't
the
think
first
you have to say
time...
allegedly. They're all dead.
It's crazy, because when they cut to these two dudes, they're both wearing white shirts. It's obvious they're on drugs because one guy is grooving to the music while the other guy's so gacked out, he literally doesn't know what to do with his hands. Cut to 2:26. You will see these two men, doesn't matter what the context is. The guy on the right literally takes his hands and drags them across his chest like he's Pat from those old It's Pat. Ooh. God, he's so fucking high. After that, Eddie hits a high note and we cut to Rick in the engineering booth raising his hands like a conductor in triumph. Like, yes! It's great. And then in the breakdown, Eddie dances and smiles while the engineering booth has about 12 people inside just dancing and high-fiving like maniacs. Then finally, for the outro, Rick jumps into the recording booth and grabs a bass guitar to pretend to play while he sings the chorus, the bridge, and the outro. All with Eddie simultaneously duetting on the same mic, and I'm uncomfortable. Now, Tim, the second favorite part of this music video for me, after the guy who's so high he doesn't know where to put his hands, is the very end. The very, very end, folks. After the song finishes, they hug it out. But they don't just hug and that's it. They hug, they remain embraced, turn towards the camera, and give this bizarre look, with Eddie Murphy giving the okay, the okie dokie symbol, and then Rick James also gives the okie dokie symbol before switching to the hook 'em horns or Hail Satan, depending on where you went to school. My read on that is twofold. One, who in their right mind could have watched that and been like, nailed it. Don't cut that off the end. That doesn't look weird at all. It looks so weird. The second part is they both do the okie dokie symbol. First of all, like, why? But second of all, I think that if you watch it closely, you can literally see Eddie Murphy does it, Then Rick James sees Eddie Murphy do it and goes, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do it. And then you see Eddie Murphy look at him like, bitch, you're not supposed to do that. Do the devil horns. And he's, oh yeah, right. Devil horns. All happening inside of 1.5 seconds with no words while you listen to this music fade out. But it's hysterical. Like you could tell they rehearsed it repeatedly, but they're so high, Tim. The Rick James is like, oh yeah, okie dokie, bitch. No, motherfucker. Hook 'em. Oh yeah, hail Satan. Good stuff. Oh, God. I almost called you Brian. That's weird. Tim, how did this do?
Pretty damn well. This hit number 2 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100, although it only hit number 8 on the U.S. Billboard Hot Black Singles, which makes me think that maybe I don't understand the Billboard chart hierarchy. It did sell more than 1 million copies, though. The album it came off of sold more than 500,000 copies and hit number 26 on the U.S. Billboard 200. Strangely enough, no Dutchman has ever heard this song, so the interns and I have begun a whisper campaign infiltrating their ranks, using this song as an inroad to weaken their defenses, and I will report back on our progress soon.
Oh my God. Please don't. Let's see. What do people think of it?
Well, there's a Robert Christgau review for the album that repeatedly uses the word pussy. Now, it doesn't actually ever mention this song, so I actually vote that we skip it, because I'm sure we'll do more Eddie Murphy at some point.
Have to. Too weird.
Yeah, there are 113 total ratings on Amazon, 4.8 out of 5 stars on average, 87% 5 stars, 0% 1 star. Not a one of them is interesting, so I went to YouTube. Ellie Short, 6348, 5 years ago, said, I'm surprised Eddie didn't play every single person in this music video. And I agree. Would have been a strong move.
That would have been great. God, I hope that's her email address too. ellieshart@gmail.com.
I hope that's her actual last name. Fatty Maddie 426 1 year ago. Today is Saturday, 29 June 2024. I am 40 years old and Australian. I have literally discovered this song and listened to it for the first time ever today. What a time to be alive.
I like that guy. Australians ever positive.
Yes. Enzo Sandovalakak 8BE 13 days ago. It's February 11th, 2026, and I'm celebrating my 22nd birthday today.
What's happening?
Only did I turn 22, but I'm also feeling 22. It's party time, and I'm dedicating myself to listening to this song.
I swear to God, if you read another review that announces it's their birthday and their age, I'm going to fucking slap you.
The specific day, Virendra Kumar W1M 6 months ago. A few weeks ago, I was chatting with a friend about how manifesting never seemed to work for me. I tried so many methods, but still felt stuck. We heard about a book called Manifest the Unseen by Luna Rivers on a podcast, and I was hesitant at first. But after reading just a few chapters, I realized how much I was missing. Eva's approach is so different from anything that I've ever tried. It's not about thinking positive. It's about aligning with real-world actions and bringing your desires into reality. Now I've manifested opportunities I never imagined possible, and my mindset has completely shifted. If you're frustrated like I was, don't hesitate. Read this book. It will change everything. Garrett, I propose to you that was written by Patrick Bateman.
Oh, maybe.
It has the exact
desperately. I was trying desperately to manifest that mouth shut, but it just kept going.
That's
God, that was terrible. What does that have to do with Eddie Murphy?
Oh, it's just a little viral ad for Manifest the Unseen by Luna Rivers.
Great reviews. What else you got?
I've got one from Nelson Matta 8064 from 2 days ago that says, "What happened, man? We were all into each other back then. White, black, Latinos, mixing sounds and music, loving each other's styles. I thought the future was going to be glorious. All of us hand in hand, but boy, was I wrong." That's person number one who thought that the 80s were full of racial harmony. Person number two, Garrett, is BTK Killer 1 from 1 month ago. The 80s. No racism, nothing, just living with all ethnicities.
I assume he's mocking him horrifically.
Maybe.
Unclear. But his name is BTK1, so don't trust him.
No, you shouldn't. And it's kind of sad that he didn't get that BTK.
It's troubling.
Darth Adenius 8387 from 5 years ago said, "Let's be honest, we're all here because our girls would rather party all the time." To which Burning Milk 7820 replied, "Oh, I was only here because of I did a thing."
What?
He's not here because his
Reply
girl...
to that man.
What do you mean? Burning milk?
What did you do?
How do you burn milk?
Burning milk. Oh, you can burn milk.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Great reviews, Tim. That brings us to who is this for? And Tim, I must ask, who is this for?
This is for cocaine. It is a love letter to cocaine. It's a little bit for you. And I think that it is for all women out there. It serves as a warning to, watch out for these guys.
Maybe a feminist anthem to get out there and party as much as you want.
Oh, maybe.
Unclear. Misogynistic slop or feminist anthem? You decide. Do it, Tim. Decide.
The second one. Feminist anthem.
Nice. That brings us to final thoughts, Tim. We've been all the way through it. Do you have any big revelations after listening to this?
No.
Fair enough. I do like that you interjected the uncertainty that the entire song is about how angry they are that this woman is not at home when they would like to be out partying and they might see their hijinks. I think it's mostly about an obsessed gentleman and his weird cocaine-addled friend stalking a woman who refuses to go on more dates with him.
It could be both of those things.
I agree. Alrighty, Tim. Boy, look at us agreeing just like the racial harmony of the mid to late 80s. That brings us to the big question at hand. We've been all the way through it, fully explored it, really just put our hands inside the glove that is Eddie Murphy. And Tim, after feeling around, do you hate this song?
No, but I do think that this is much more sinister than anyone would have you believe. What about you, Garrett? Do you hate this song?
Oh, heavens no. I've already listened to it twice since we started this podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
never
what all
gonna
those
stop.
bathroom breaks were about. We cut them out, but Garrett listens to music while he pees or poops.
Doesn't everybody? Calms the sphincters. Let's bring it to listener mail. Would you like to go first or should I?
Oh, I definitely want to go first this week, Garrett.
I can only imagine why. I suspect it's so that I don't read what is possibly one of the stranger titled emails we've gotten in a minute.
It's definitely that thing, Garrett. I did something you usually do. I only read the title of this email. I have not read a single word that's in it. I decided to read whatever unhinged contents were in it, sight unseen. This is from Victoria, and it is entitled, Show Me That Butthole. And that's all in caps, so I assume that she is yelling it at us.
Okay, so just a quick side note. First of all, amazing. Second of all, I have a completely separate email that I only read the title of that I was certain you would read. So fantastic. Banner week for the show. Tim, show me that butthole.
Hey y'all, Victoria checking in again from scenic Biloxi, Mississippi. I saw a meme a couple of months ago that said, show me that butthole is 5 syllables if you're looking to end a haiku. I can't seem to stop writing poetry ever since I saw this excellent meme, and I have a good friend who can have entire conversations with me in these butthole haikus. Another pal made me a necklace that read, My dear bestie, here's to 2026. Show me that butthole. Needless to say, this nonsense has brought so much humor into my life, I figured that as much joy as this show has brought me over the years, I would write a few for you. She continues. Tim, do you hate this? No, but Garrett, why did you show me that butthole? If sharks are not real, then why do dolphins cry when they get salty buttholes? Changed it up a little bit there.
I'm not going to count it.
Garrett wrote poems, but few, if any, ladies showed him that butthole.
I like it.
Cowboy Council called, said, be careful with those chaps, might chafe your butthole.
Okay, they're getting better.
Now that a week has passed, show me that butthole on your podcast. Find the feed.
No, you're not showing anyone your butthole on the feed, to be clear.
No, of course. Oh, sorry. To be clear, butthole free.
Yeah, legally. Sure, you're going to see us walking around and stuff.
We blur them out, though.
Just the hole.
Yeah.
Not the crack.
Right. That's the
Enjoy
offensive
that crack,
part.
ladies.
Garrett, do you have an email?
I do have an email. That was upsetting.
Yes, we should say that before we go on any further. What an upsetting, unhinged email. Well done. Show me that butthole. Please, listeners, do not show us your butthole. And also, don't send us videos where we can't, somebody, Franklin, sent us a video, allegedly, he would like to fight. And then he sent us a video showing me his physicality is how he phrased it. Now, I did not open this video because, of course, that's just going to be all dick and balls or possibly showing me his butthole. And he seemed surprised and slightly angry that I did not just open whatever video he sent me. And here's the thing. I'm not going to open your goddamn video.
Yeah, he was pretty offended.
Yeah.
I like Franklin quite a bit.
He
But yeah,
is-
we're not going to just open unsolicited videos of your quote-unquote physicality.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure he's going to show up someday and just punch me in the face.
I look forward to that day. Okie dokie, back to my email, Tim. Mine is from Bill, and Bill titles his email, Mix Up in Sudan.
In Sudan?
Yeah,
Like the
like
car?
the Sudan.
Oh, Sudan.
No,
Sudan.
you are insufferable.
You said sedan. I thought you were talking about mix up in some sort of car.
You said Sudan, like some sort
I
of
was
erudite
over-pronouncing it so you could tell the difference between the two, you see.
You are a butthole.
Show me
Anyway.
that butthole.
All right, Bill's title is Mix Up in Sudan.
You know what? I hear it now. I do sound like
Yeah.
Dick.
Yeah, quite the butthole. Bill writes, Dearest T-Bird and G-Spot, just hoping to touch base and clear things up here. As you know, on the back of every issue of the WIHTA fan club newsletter is a map purporting to lead to the quote-unquote HatePod Fun Zone. I took it upon myself to follow the map, and it ended up in the deserted area just outside of Ashana in South Sudan. Just as I was searching for a spot to cash in my collected hate bucks for a prize, hoping that either a Garrett Pog or a Tamagotchi, a burlap sack was thrown over my head and I was tossed into the back of a truck.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, don't follow the map. After riding for quite some time, I was pulled out and led by two men. One of them, who sounded strikingly similar to NFL legend Tom Brady, commented that he couldn't believe someone was actually stupid enough to fall for this. The other, who spoke in what I can really only describe as an intentionally garbled Italian accent, replied, "He's having a very wealthy kidneys."
Yeah.
They
They are
proceeded to
stealing
push me-
kidneys, to be clear. Tom, B,
Yeah, and
Rady,
and we're
Gino.
not.
Right.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with that. We wet our beak. Sure, they live here,
Yeah.
but we don't have anything to do with it.
Right.
Think of it as rent.
I
paid
wet
for
that
by
beak
stolen
so
kittens.
hard.
Yeah, you do. Anyways, email continues somehow. They proceeded to push me into a dark, empty room where I've been for the last 2 days. It hasn't been too bad, as I've been supplied with plenty of Snapple, and one of them is currently running an ice bath for me. Just wanted the clarification as to whether this is all like part of an exclusive WIHTA experience, or if there's been some sort of mix-up of some sort. Can't wait to hear back, and I would love an episode on Beck's album Colors, or a Prepisode on Dee Dee Ramone's terrible rap song, Funky Guy. Peace and chaos, Bill.
It is technically
Bill-
part of an exclusive experience.
So exclusive. Bill, if you're at all familiar with the hit I think it's David Fincher, film The Game, you're in a game, but it's very real.
Yes.
It's just like dire consequences, like the Michael Douglas film The Game.
Yes. And you will, in fact, meet Sean Penn if that's something you're into.
Yeah, whether you want to or not, but he's going to be his character from one battle after another, so he's not like super fun to hang out with. Plays
You keep
surgeons.
referencing that movie.
It's real good.
Okay. Take your
Okay.
word for it.
Tim, that finishes the listener mail segment. Both bangers this week. Folks, if you want to get your email read on the show or not, just read to us, hatepodmail@gmail.com.
No
and if you want us to read,
videos.
yeah, we're not going to open them. And if you don't want your email read on the air, all you have to say is, hey, don't read this on the air. If you want it to be read on the air, but you want it to remain anonymous, just say, hey, don't say my fucking name. And we will always abide by that because you listeners are our number 2 priority.
Okay, one video.
Everyone can send one video, or you're going to open exactly one video.
I will open one, and it's going to be a random one. And Franklin, it's not going to be yours because you promised it would include your physicality, and I'm out.
Franklin's the best. And listen,
He's
don't try
gonna
to get
hit
clever
me.
with it. Yeah, he is. And folks, don't try to get clever with it. If I see a video that's titled Not Buttholes, I'm not falling for that.
Yeah, that
Unless
that
you
almost,
think it's almost certainly buttholes, but
it's
they
probably
might be trying to
gonna
fool us.
Or they might not. They might not. They might be trying to reassure us that there are no buttholes in this video.
But can we take that chance? And really, if it were me, and it's not me, but if it were me, they'd all be buttholes. You just can't risk it.
Yeah, well, you should just assume.
Yep, we're going to open one. All right, Tim, that brings us to music news of the weird. Do you need to go first or should I?
I must, Garrett.
Music news of the weird.
In Lemonhead's news, Garrett, Lemonhead
Oh.
singer Evan Dando is apparently quite a bit of a creep. You see, Evan, who admittedly has had some pretty significant mental illness and substance abuse issues over the years, was hospitalized last week after he sent a fan what the internet is calling unwanted pornog. You see, the 58-year-old was sent a congratulatory DM by an unidentified fan after the release of the first Lemonheads album 20 years, and after a brief exchange, he sent her a message that said, "Cool, I'm sorry, I'm an exhibitionist." She responded, "Don't ever apologize for being you, my friend. Always be unapologetic. And you." And then she went to bed. Garrett, what do you think she awoke to find?
Dicks.
That's right, Garrett.
In the dicks in her DMs.
That said, would it be cool if I sent you a quote-unquote art photo, followed by videos of him masturbating? The sexiest thing anyone can see a man doing. With subsequent videos he sent to the lady, he said, "Sorry, thanks, I just needed an outlet. Cheers." Which really pissed her off. Apparently, Garrett, and this was news to me, women do not enjoy being referred to as your sexual outlet. That's, I think, what made her go to the media with this whole thing.
"Sorry, I just needed a repository for my seed." Your eyes were that.
Also, she made some pretty mean comments about his camera angles.
Oh,
Evan's
I thought you were going to say wiener size.
wife said, oh, God, no. Evan's wife said it was self-sabotage motivated by a mental meltdown and drug relapse, and that he has been hospitalized for, quote, comprehensive help from experienced doctors and mental health professionals. Last year, he announced that he was sober, except for over-the-counter medications and alcohol, which
Wait, what?
seems like a biggie.
What?
And since this has come out, 2 more women have also shared similar stories with damning evidence.
Wow. God, that is... I've heard of California sober. I've heard of Buffalo sober. I think that's just not sober.
I think that's Wisconsin sober.
Yeah, I'm only doing beers.
and whiskey, to be clear.
And whiskey.
Yeah. Garrett, do you have news?
I do. So much news. Tim, everybody's least favorite musician of late, Nicki Minaj, has been apparently, while using her voice to prop up the super cool president that we have, a new study has emerged. And that study is fascinating because what the findings of that study were that apparently there has been a coordinated army of more than 18,000 bots working on behalf of Miss Nicki Minaj in order to promote her and attack anybody who says otherwise. Politico shared the report, which was compiled by the disinformation detection company Cyabra. In it, analysis of Nicki's social media activity from November 11th through December 28th found that thousands of fake accounts use similar language to praise Nicki's posts and attack authentic accounts who were critical of her. According to Cyabra, there was one day in December where 56% of all comments on Nicki's political posts were fake. I wonder who's funding that. Oh, God. The world makes very little sense, and it's getting weirder.
Yeah. I think Cardi B's having her butt removed.
No, that sounds wrong. What?
I think that's a story, too. I didn't write it down, but my point is that there are some weird stuff. There's weird stuff happening everywhere, Garrett. There's I don't know how she joined the right wing, though. I mean, I remember when we attempted to court, well, let me be fair here. When I attempted to court the right wing on this show, the alt-right, and then that blew up in my face.
Yeah, well, I think what happened is you were courting the alt-right, and they became just the right, and the new alt-right hated you.
Well, yeah.
Too far right.
Me? Wait, them.
No, them.
Okay.
Never you. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just a straight up cash for spokesmanship. I mean, she's an idiot and has a bunch of terrible views to begin with, like a lot of hot takes based on nothing. But I think somebody just came to her and, hey, we kind of agree on a couple things. You want like buckets and buckets of money for just saying shit that we tell you to? And, you know, she's a soulless corporate robot. So she said, yeah,
the
why
old
not?
Dave Rubin Tim Pool special. Tim Pool, by the way, one of our worst Tims. He's not even invited
Tim
to the meetings.
Alrighty, that's my first news story, Tim. You got more news for us?
Yes, Garrett, in tragedy news this week, Janarius Michael Wheeler. You familiar with Janarius?
Janarius Michael Wheeler.
He also goes by the rappist name Lil Papa. Do you know Lil Papa?
Oh, is Lil Papa the gentleman that had a car incident?
Yeah. He crashed his car.
That was the first part.
in a single-car accident on Interstate 85 just south of Hateville, Georgia. In a panic, the 25-year-old called his manager. His manager drove out to meet him at a Hilton Hotel parking lot where Lowell pulled up in his car, which was apparently fine to drive. Lowell rolled his window down, he spoke briefly to his manager, and then fatally shot himself in the head. It is unknown what he spoke to his manager about at the time. No suicide note was found. I like to think it was a spur-of-the-moment decision, but there was an off-duty cop working security there that, I guess, called an ambulance. They took him to Atlanta, where he was pronounced dead. Now, continuing this story, Garrett, a memorial was held in his honor in his hometown of Jacksonville, Florida, where one attendee, Robert Phelps, said, "I remember him as a little kid singing and rapping inside the church. I really enjoyed him, and I hate that he is gone." Later at the memorial, someone still at large fired 12 to 15 bullets into the gathering, injuring 4 people.
Good Lord.
Unclear what that was about.
Oh my God. Unrelated.
And that's what we call a postscript.
Are you saying the manager or whatever was there?
Yes, yeah, he called his manager.
I thought he called him.
No, he called him and they were like face to face. He rolled his window down.
What?
And then he shot himself in the head in front of him.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's
Yeah.
got to be jarring. We have a friend that happened to.
Do we?
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was in high school, he was literally an after-school special. They were all sitting on the couch watching a movie, and his friend was literally playing with a gun and shot himself in the face.
I thought he shot himself in the foot.
No, that happened to me. That happened to me. I was sitting there playing PlayStation 2 with my friend and shot himself in the foot. Because we were like, hey, man, that's a loaded .22 revolver. Don't play with that. And he's, I'm not playing with it. And we were like, okay, back to playing Metal Gear Solid 2. Fucking 3 minutes later, shot himself in the foot. God damn it. The best part of that day was when had to call into work because he was a trainer at an Equinox or Curves or some shit. And he was like, yeah, I can't come in today. I'm pretty sick. And they were like, hey, man, you've called in sick a couple times, man. We really need you to come in. He's like, no, I'm like real sick. I really can't. And they're like, oh, come on. This is the 3rd time in 3 months. You really need to stop this. And he's like, I shot myself in the foot. Like, what? He did all of it on speakerphone. He's like, I shot myself in the foot. I'm on my way to the hospital. I have a bullet in my foot. And they're like, oh yeah, go to the hospital. We'll cancel your session. Fucking idiot. God, that was funny though. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, probably. What other news you got, Garrett?
Yeah. Well, Tim, in Tame Impala news, to put more accurately, I think I really like Tame Impala news. Tame Impala's Kevin Parker has won his 2nd Grammy earlier this month, taking home the award for Best Dance Electronic Recording for the Deadbeat single, End of Look. I don't know if you've heard the new album. It's pretty good. But as the artist reveals in a recent interview, he missed the entire thing. Quote, look, I'm going to be dead honest with you. I forgot we were even nominated. Parker said of the Grammys in a conversation with confusingly Mac DeMarco for an interview for Interview magazine. Quote, I forgot that I was
magazine. That doesn't
I know,
sound
right?
real.
Seems fake. With crack reporter Mac DeMarco. Anyway, he goes on to say, in fact, I forgot that they were even on. Now, to Parker's credit, he's Australian, and the category was awarded during the Grammy premiere ceremony, which airs live from Los Angeles and precedes the main telecast. This year, the premiere ceremony began around 12:30 p.m. Pacific, and that equates to about 4:30 a.m. in Perth, where Parker is sleeping. Parker says, quote, you have to imagine my confusion, because I'm in Australia, I wake up and my phone has absolutely exploded. I've got 30 messages all saying congratulations, but none of them are saying what for, and I'm like, for what, motherfuckers? Until he eventually called someone, and they were like, you want a Grammy? And he was like, oh, I don't care about that at all. Going back to bed.
Nobody does.
Nor should they, Tim. What other news you got?
Well, Garrett, in official public health policy news, Health and Human Services Secretary RFKJ posted a video of him working out with Kid Rock, set to Bawa to Ba, presumably to pwn the libs or something. They both work out shirtless, and this reference will not mean anything to anyone except for you, but I think you'll find this apt. Kid Rock has a body.
Oh my God, he does.
Yeah.
Oh my God, nailed it.
Not good for anybody. He should not be taking his shirt off to work out publicly. Now, I don't know if you watched this, but there are some push-ups.
I did.
RFKJ rides this old-timey stationary bike where you move your hands back and forth. The entire time, RFKJ wears jeans and a black belt, and not in a cool way like my cowboy brother Truett Haynes, who runs the Austin Marathon in jeans. RFKJ also jumps into a pool in jeans, and Kid Rock and RFKJ share a glass of, well, they don't share a glass, they each have their own glass, but they toast glasses of whole milk in a hot tub, which has to be a metaphor for something or a vector for something. I don't know what, but it's pretty gross. Thankfully, the video cuts out before RFKJ and Kid Rock, in my opinion, take turns entering one another physically. He said on Twitter, "I've teamed up with @KidRock to deliver 2 simple messages to the American people. Get active and eat real food." Gross to all of this. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, Out Magazine gave it 1 out of 5 rock hard cocks as quote, "the action never gets started."
Yes. Weirdly, Now Magazine also gave them 2 N's.
Dude, it's so weird. Also, Whole Milk in a Hot Tub is definitely the title of a gay pornography.
A good one, though. Like,
It's a
really
classy
critically acclaimed.
Yeah, no, it deals with grief and anal gaping.
Well, we're going to bleep at least 2 of those things.
Grief and loss.
Yeah, that's right.
That's horrible. Oh, God.
Garrett, do you have any more political news?
Kind of. In Ed Kowalczyk of Live News, 2 members of Live posted a screenshot of a cease and desist letter they have issued to the original frontman of Live, Ed Kowalczyk, on Thursday, asserting that Kowalczyk is no longer actually in the band. In 2010, Live's non-singing members filed a breach of contract lawsuit against Kowalczyk, alleging he'd entered a publishing deal that they claim owed them money. In 2012, Taylor, Gracie, and bassist Patrick Dahlheimer sued Kowalczyk via Action Front Unlimited for trademark infringement, objecting to the billing Ed Kowalczyk, formerly of Live. That's literally how he was going on tour. Kowalczyk countersued. The same year they reunited, though the singer-guitarist Chris Shin was replacing Kowalczyk until Kowalczyk returned to the band mid-lawsuit in 2026, confoundingly. That didn't last. In 2022, Kowalczyk allegedly fired the other members of the band, taking control of the band. Then Kowalczyk toured as Live. The other musicians fought among themselves for a number of years before finally settling their multiple lawsuits and turning their attention to the real problem, Ed Kowalczyk. Meanwhile, Live, fronted by Kowalczyk, is touring currently under the name Live with a bunch of random session players through Canada and the United States through February and March. So we'll see. But, Live is fighting.
It's shocking to me that, Live cannot make enough money to make any of this worth it. And I don't know, maybe he has better access to dolphins in the band. I don't understand.
Yeah, the whole thing is silly. Who even wants this? What are you guys fighting over? It's like an infant who's just fighting over a toy that their brother has just because they have it. It's like, nobody wants this. Nobody wants to hear about the dolphins or the copper or the placenta.
Ew.
A little about the lightning.
Well, yeah, that was a great song. Do you have any other news or follow-ups?
Quick follow-up on everybody's favorite American sweetheart, Taylor Swift. T-Swift's Opalite has reached #1, Tim, putting you at ease and her in a tie for 3rd place for the most number of Hot 100 leaders ever with 14. She now ties Rihanna for the most Hot 100 leaders in the history of the chart. Who's ahead of her, you might be wondering? Well, at number 19, Mariah Carey. And with 20, she's at 14, with 20, still at #1, the Beatles. We'll see if she can catch them. Now, Tim, I read this story mostly to ask you this question. What year will Taylor Swift's fame drop off?
Oh.
2030?
Man, I don't know. I would have thought years and years ago, but it just, she seems to be picking up steam. I've heard people don't like her most recent album, which is something I've never heard anyone say about any of her other albums, either because they love them or because, fear.
They're scared?
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's probably got another decade of this. How old is she? She's 30? Something like that?
Something like that.
I bet she lasts at least until 40.
Yeah, that's fair.
Until she turns into some sort of Nick Nolte character.
I'm Taylor Swift.
You sure are, buddy.
God damn it. Jesus Christ. I like that. I like your thinking. It's hard to argue against it just to play devil's advocate. I'll put it at 35. I think by 35, she's still popular, but she's not the juggernaut we see.
Right.
Today.
And to be clear, neither of us knows how old she currently is.
No, we're guessing if she's 30.
So you're saying
idea.
she's got another 5 years. I'm saying another decade.
I prefer to guess her age. I think our listeners will too. Now, yeah,
she's 36.
Oh, she's got 4 years left.
Yeah, definitely. At least that.
Alrighty, Tim, what a fantastic news segment this was. That brings me to our favorite part of the episode, where we talk about the album we're going to be listening to for an entire week straight before we come back here and share whether or not we hate it with you, the listener, and of course, why. Tim, what album are you going to pull out of that hopper and read to me?
Let me activate the hopper.
The Album-O-Matic, the Song Popper.
I hate everything you're saying, Garrett. Why just pulled out a ball that says Cherry Poppin' Daddies, which is disgusting. Zoot Suit Riot. So, assume you're familiar.
Oh, Tim, you don't know what you have wrought upon us.
Okay, but here's the thing.
This
We
is
also
terrible.
might release a Vault Patreon only episode on Face Off in an attempt to get that directorship at some point instead. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, I don't want to spend 2 weeks with Zoot Suit Riot. So let's start there, and then maybe we can release like a planned Patreon episode, or from the Patreon feed, our Face-Off episode. Our unknown Face-Off episode. Patreon remains wildly unpopular, but we keep doing it. I mean, it's a steadfast 2,000 people, and we will continue until the day Tim dies. Zoot Suit Riot. Tim, nobody ever in the history of the world asked ska and, oh God, what is it?
Swing? Is it swing?
Swing. God, yeah, it's swing music. It was the early end, I think, of the swing revival combined with ska. It's the worst of all worlds.
Is that these two terrible musical abominations will combine into something that actually sounds pretty good. It's the Looney Tunes effect, where if you get hit on the head once, you have amnesia. You get hit on the head a second time, you're just fine.
This is the second time you've referenced that. Were you hit in the head?
I think that was off
recently.
Mike's
I don't know what's on mics anymore. I'm pretty much always recording our conversation, so we could release it if you like.
I'd prefer we don't.
I can understand that. Alrighty, folks, let's wrap this thing up. As always, please reach out to us, hatePodMail@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram. That's HatePod. Twitter's Album HatePod. I'm G Harvey Tweets. Reach out to those things, and we might reply. Please send us emails, what you like, what you don't like, what you want to hear, what you never want to hear again, album suggestions, weird stories about this music. Where were you during the fated Boston Ice Cream Festival? I want to know. Those are all the ways you can find us. We got subreddits, we got Discord servers, all the things, all the internet things. We're not on TikTok. Don't know how it works. Don't trust it. But other than that, you can pretty much find us anywhere. But for this week, I'm going to wrap things up. I've been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson. And on December 28th, 2013, Garrett P. Harvey said, "This woman seems to be trimming a puppet."
I don't remember the context at all, but it makes me happy to think about that day. Maybe we were at the zoo? If you know, you have to tell me.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. The riffs are too repetitive. The lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides. The cover art's a mess. This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.